Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, it is Dims, your babe. Today's video is going to be a Q&A video. I haven't done one in a very long time, 5 months I think. So basically I'm going to be answering your questions in this video. If you're not familiar with these or you're a new subscriber, welcome. Before I continue, please, if this is your second time, I think that is fair enough. Okay, if this is your second time watching my video and you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I'm going to start saying this like to you guys because yes, I've recently gotten some new subscribers. Welcome to the family, guys, those of you who subscribed recently. So about 30-40% of those of you who keep coming back to watch my videos, you're not subscribed. Why? Tell me why that's going on. If this is not your first time here, please subscribe. I know that some of you genuinely forget. Just subscribe. If you subscribe, it makes it easy. You get occasional notifications every time that I post, but if you want to get a notification every single time I upload a video, please click on the notification bell. It's going to pop up somewhere on the screen so that you see what it looks like. Click on that and you're going to get a notification every single time I upload a video. Okay, so going to get right into the questions now. I got some really good ones. I told you guys to keep it exciting. Going to really focus on questions that I have not answered before. Okay. So the first question that I have here is from Duke_Esquivel. I hope that that's how your name is pronounced. And the question goes, now that there's a washing machine in the BB Naija house, would you consider auditioning? I think that this airs most of Africa, but we have Big Brother. Big Brother is on now. The Nigerian version is on now, and it's very big here. The following, I would say it's almost a cult following, and if you want to jumpstart your career, it's short. Even if you never see me in that house, if you want to jumpstart your career in this life, consider Big Brother. I think that, I don't know, what am I doing like that? I'm sorry. If you want to jumpstart your career, I'd highly recommend that maybe you consider Big Brother. So now that there's a washing machine, would I consider it? I still don't know if I would. You know, I was just saying, yeah, a very good way to jumpstart your career, but I feel like people who go to Big Brother and come out, like, see, I believe I'm a strong woman. I believe, like, those of you who know me know, right? But the thing is, I feel like I am at a point in my life, maybe when I was a lot younger, maybe when I was 22, 23, I would have been heavily considering it if I was especially doing what I'm doing now. I'm at a point in my life where I think that mental health is very important. And I've seen how Big Brother has helped the careers of a lot of people who have gone in, but bruh, like, these people deal with so much negativity on a daily basis when they come out of that house. Even people who went 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I have talked to some of them and it's almost as if like it kind of tapers off like after they leave the show, but then it's almost a constant. People come and constantly remind you of how well they think you should be doing. People constantly comparing you with other housemates. I'm not saying that this should be something that should prevent you from going on there, but I think that where I am in my life right now, mental health is so important, and a lot of the perks that I see that the Big Brother comes with, very, very enticing. But then again, you think of that other aspect of it and I'm like, I just don't think so. I'm saying that now. I don't know what I'll say to this question next year, but that's my answer. So next question, wanted to call this person's name out, but I was like, okay, this question seems a bit personal and I don't know if it applies to them. So I'm going to answer the question, but I will not call out the Instagram username. So he says, hi Dimma, I love you so much and what you do. Would you be the type of person to turn down a proposal? What would you do if you were proposed to in public, but you don't want to say yes? This is actually a very good question. I'm still holding this pen. Guys, I'm writing down. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me just tell you guys the truth why I'm holding this pen. I'm holding this pen down because I want to keep track of the amount of questions that I am answering. I don't want this video to be too long. I know from experience that when Q&As are more than the 30-minute mark here, you guys tend to not watch it as much as you watch the ones that are under 30 minutes. So I am making a note. So I'm going to answer about 20 questions. Yes, I got way more than 20 questions, but guys, I can actually do another Q&A video. You guys should let me know and answer more of these questions if you would like. So what is my answer to that question? It's a very good question, I would say. And I think that I'll probably say yes in public and then kind of break it off in private. That's just the type of person that I am. Like, I do not have the strength, both physical and mental, sometimes for like confrontations or for drama or for anything that would kind of equal public drama. Not my cup of tea at all. And the same thing like kind of applies to maybe like you running into a guy outside and then the guy is asking you for a number. Like, it can happen sometimes and they're like asking you to give them a number and you don't want to give this person your number, but they're very persistent, would not let you leave a physical space, you know, just trying to convince you to give this number, right? I'm the type of person who would give you my number and then leave that place, decide not to answer your call or block you. And I think that is also a very valid response to that type of thing, because most of the time I always start out with being like, oh, not really, I don't want to give. And they're like, oh, come on now. Just like that type of pressure. Like, I wouldn't be the type of person to even stand in public, for example, and try to explain to you all the reasons why I do not want to give you my number at that given time. And I think that kind of also plays into like a situation like this for me. I would not want to just like get people go, oh my God, like all that might ensue. And I think that the guys would probably appreciate it if you kind of also did it like that. But I'm the kind of person who would do that. But then FYI, I am not a big fan of public proposals. Everybody who is in my life who knows me personally knows that I'm not a very big fan. Not even a very big fan. I'm just not a big fan of public proposals. Not my cup of tea at all. So if I'm going to get proposed to, I ideally would prefer it to be something private, right? I hope that this answered that question for you. So this one is from Kebab W, I would say. And she's like, what can I do for a living? Can't get a job. I'm in my 20s and I can't make money with YouTube in Botswana. Why can you not make money with YouTube in Botswana? From my understanding, YouTube is monetized almost everywhere. If you can create content and you get to a certain threshold, you can make money at least $100 a month off of YouTube if you're eligible for monetization and you reach that threshold. If you make less than $100 a month, you will not be paid. YouTube will pay you when you know, by the next month, let's say if you get to $100, but you can make $100 a month on YouTube. That's the minimum that you can make. So I'm really genuinely surprised that YouTube is not monetized in Botswana. I don't really know anything about this. Probably go and read up on this after this video. But I would also like to understand why you cannot get a job in your 20s. What's really going on? I wish that this question had more like information than like it does, but I think that I'll need more information to be able to answer this well. So this one is from Emeyangsin or Amayangsin, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Can you do a full video about how you shave/wax your body at home? I do not wax my body at home. I did a video recently on how to get rid of discoloration in your armpits or underarm area. I'm going to have this linked in the description box in case you have not seen it. That video is very helpful. I think it's very, very helpful because a lot of the things that I did in that video really changed things for me. But I have also said in previous videos that I do not wax at home. Like, I go to a spa to do that. It's not the most expensive service to get. You know, most of the time it can range from maybe 2,500 to about 3,500. Maximum, if it's a very bougie spa, 5,000 here to get your underarms waxed. If you're going to be waxing maybe let's say your whole legs, or if you want a full body wax, then that attracts a certain fee, for example. But I do not wax at home. And I used to shave at home, obviously stopped that, but I do not wax at home. There are so many tutorials on how to wax at home here. There are like recipes, like following like natural, like I have tried those in the past, and to be honest, I feel like it's just easier for me if I have someone pulling my hair off than me. I remember the first time I tried waxing myself, I got it done, but it was so painful. Like I would have to pull and then I'll walk around and then come back and pull. I think that in my own case, I just find it to be very efficient when someone else is waxing me. So this one is from Ennis_Cafe, and she's asking, what's your most memorable trips overseas? I've had some really good ones. Italy was good. Like I went to Italy alone, not knowing a word in Italian, and I did have a good time. I went to Cannes with YouTube. That was a very good trip because I went with my sister, Norma. I love her. So it made everything better. Kenya was also a very memorable trip for me, and then Ghana as well. Ghana was very memorable, and Ghana is the more recent, like my most recent trip. I just ended up giving you guys 4, but these 4 just stand out to me for very specific reasons. I really want to say that I have a lot of questions here around relocating or about relocating or leaving Nigeria. I have had people ask this in previous Q&As, but like I think about 10 to 15% of the questions I have here are about relocating and what my take is on it. And I'm not surprised, to be honest. If you're at a place in your life, at a point in your life that you feel like leaving Nigeria is going to be the best thing for you, health-wise, career-wise, everything-wise, just leave. A couple of countries are offering us pathways for that. Just in my hand, I can count at least 10 people that I know personally. I have had conversations with one-on-one who are in the process of or trying to start the process of relocating from Nigeria. So I'd say that if you think that is something that you should do, then do it. Absolutely definitely. If you're not sure where to start from, Canada is a very good one. They have a very good pathway for permanent residency. The UK has one for tech people, but over the past couple of years, I think that they've also had one for medical professionals. Just do your research and figure out where you think you want to go and go. Like, if you feel like that's the best thing for you where you're at now, go. This next one is from Eniola Tito, and the question is, everyone's outlook on life has kind of changed since 2020. How has mine changed? This is actually a very, very good question. And I think that I kind of know what the answer is, but it's just like putting the thoughts together in my head. One thing that I'd say is, if there's a place you want to go, a trip you want to go on, don't keep over. It's just like, it also applies to a lot of people who are here asking me, how do you start a YouTube channel? Like, if there's something that you've always wanted to do and you keep thinking, oh, there'll be so much time. Like, if someone had told me, because late 2019, I thought I was going to be traveling and checking a lot of things off of my list last year. That did not happen. Even now, I thought that's what I would be doing this year, but that did not happen. So this big thing outside of all of our controls happened. So an idea is coming to you. Do something about it. If there's a place that you want to go to, try and go to that place. Just do things that you want to do. Like, I think that sometimes we tend to plan things so much and we keep thinking that, oh, we'll always have time to do all these things. And by the grace of God, you would have time to do all those things, but just know that you might not be able to do them as quickly or as soon as you thought that you would. Okay? So this is from Anna_Batosikova, and she's asking, are there more African countries on your bucket list? Guys, I have more African countries on my bucket list. I have talked about South Africa to you guys here before, been on my list for ages. Senegal, okay, so there are 2 new additions that I just added recently. So I think I've talked about South Africa a lot here, and I think I've mentioned Zanzibar a couple of times on this channel, so going to Zanzibar, Tanzania. But Senegal, I added that to my list very recently, and I think that maybe the reason why I never really considered it seriously was because I always feel like going to a country where there's a language barrier, because Senegal is francophone, and I'll do a lot of like mental like math about how that will work out, and I kind of shy away from that. But then I've seen a lot of Nigerians go to Senegal recently and they had a good time, so it's on my list now. Egypt, I've seen people who went to Egypt recently and they had a blast, so Egypt is also on my list at the moment. Okay, so this is from Ms_Oyinade, and the question is, what keeps you going? Plus, I admire your strength. How is it that you can be down and still shine? And I think I've kind of answered this a little bit now. It's you having this conversation with yourself, you know, and deciding, like, it's not easy, but deciding to make the best out of a given situation. But you do that with faith and hope as well, because I think that that's important. You can decide to brave through a particular situation or brave through what you're going through at a particular point in time, but if you just do it without like any long-term like hope, faith, like just merged together, you see that you'll be able to do it in short bursts, I would say, and then it's almost as if you have to stop and then build that up again and then continue. I think that a way to just do this and do it well is to take healthy breaks. And sometimes the breaks are not just physical breaks, mental breaks are important, spiritual breaks are important as well. I think that I've told you guys that I'm a Christian, and I think that spending time with God or just coming to Him to recharge me and ask Him to please direct me, because I don't know what I'm doing, is very, 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 very important. So I think that that's it. And a lot of people are going through stuff, bro. If you look through social media, you never know what anybody's going through. You don't know. And a lot of people that you see, you think that their lives are perfect, are actually braving through things. So that's what I would say for that particular question. So this is from Oyin_drop, and they're asking, can you show a video of your setup? I have a video of my setup on this channel already. I am going to have it linked in the description box, and that video is very detailed. So my setup is AKA my filming equipment, everything that I do behind the scenes to actually give you guys content. I have done a video on that. So the next question is from V Daisy, and she asks, what triggers your anxiety? Guys, pressure triggers my anxiety. And sometimes when you're thinking about pressure, I even tweeted something, or I drafted something that I was going to tweet, and let me read that tweet out for you guys. So this tweet I wrote, I will always gravitate towards people who give me peace, people who make me laugh, and people who make room for me as I am. The last is extremely important to me, because even in platonic relationships, people will try to change you to someone they can manage. So when I say manage, I say be in charge of, and not make do with. So be in charge of. And you would see this like in even like friendships or relationships where people say they like you, or someone says they want to be with you or they want to be close to you, but then their version of sustaining that is constantly trying to get you to do things that they know you don't necessarily like, things that they like, without taking into account what you feel about them, without taking into account how they make you feel. And the moment you do any kind of pushback, it turns into that you've offended them. Like if you're in a relationship or in a situation whereby it's constant pressure to do things another person's way without like just like conscious effort put into meeting you halfway from their end, it just gives me anxiety because I don't like lying. And what you put me into, like the situation you put me in, is a situation that kind of in more ways than other encourages me or forces me to lie to you to even get out of things that, because you know that they will not even take a healthy no from you. So any type of constant pressure, because pressure is not always like brute force. It can be small, like these little constant push. Not a big fan of that. It triggers my anxiety so bad. So this was from Millie in the moment. And the question is, what did you want to be when you were younger, career-wise? I wanted to be a lawyer. It was funny because like, you know, growing up, my sister would say she wanted to be a doctor and I would say I wanted to be a lawyer. Norma has gone on to become a pharmacist, but I did not even smell law. I think that around my like early teens, mid-teens, it changed to me wanting, for reasons that I still don't understand now, to be an accountant working in a bank. And then that particular dream was so short-lived because I realized asexually that I hated accounting or anything that had to do with numbers. So this is from ebuka.chioke and he's asking, what's your relationship with Chimamanda Adichie? I've seen her praise you in a video. I just love her. Like, I'm a big fan of her. And that particular video that you're referring to, I had gone for an event that she did. And I didn't even know that she watched my videos at the time. And she did tell me there and then that she watched my videos. She's somebody that I admire so much and I respect her a lot. So yeah. So this one is from Odera_O and it's your best romance book, dear. Where do I start? Guys, I have a lot of romance novels and I think I've explained this before here that I got into reading books as much as I do now through the romance or via the romance genre. And I hated that genre tends to get a lot of heat sometimes, unnecessary. Like people dismiss it, oh, it's just fluffy nonsense. I think that my diction is good as it is right now because of reading, and a lot of it, like before I even started like looking into other genres and reading other things heavily romance, I think that I understand a lot of words, or words maybe come to me maybe a lot easier at this stage because of the amount of books that I read. So I do love romance novels, but guys, I cannot give you one romance novel that is my absolute favorite. I have so many. If you guys want me to do a video on books, tell me and I'll do that. I can give you authors to check out. So if you love historical romance, check out Lisa Kleypas. She's my all-time favorite romance author, historical romance author. If you love like contemporary romance, she doesn't write anymore, but Judith McNaught is a very good author. I also love Francine Rivers. If you love Christian romance, Francine Rivers is very, very good. So this one is from She's So Divine. Would you ever do a PhD? No. I have an MSc and a BSc. I am not going to school again. Well, never say never, but at this point in my life, I cannot imagine putting myself through that amount of stress again. But if it's something that you feel you can do it, baby. Get that PhD. I'm always cheering people who do things like that. I just don't think that I can at this point in my life. This question is split up. It's long, so I'm going to try to just piece it together and answer it. Dimma, I have a lot of brands asking to send me stuff and give me a discount, and I pay for their products, but their products are too expensive for me and my followers. I don't. So basically what Amara_Ozo is asking is basically saying is that brands are offering to send her products and have her pay for shipping. They are offering her a discount and basically I think in a way forcing her to get their products because she's saying that these products are expensive for her. I understand that this is actually common, especially with smaller creators, and it's a very, very shady things that brands do. I've told you guys before here, you should not be doing anything for anybody for free, and you should not be getting paid in product alone, because a lot of these people approach you offering to pay you by product, and it's just like you coming out and say that, oh, I want you to do a video for me and I'm going to give you free makeup. Like, did I tell you that I don't have enough makeup? I feel like sometimes some of them don't even think about it like this. For me to actually give you some sort of priority, because there are things that I naturally gravitate towards, and that's the things that I naturally come on here to show you guys. But if you feel like your product is something that I would like and you want to call it to my attention, then do it right. Don't ask me to pay for it, you know? And this is not just a me thing. I'm friends with creators who live in the UK, who live in America, who live here. Your big creators here are not creating content for brands for free. If you want them to do a video, shoot it, edit it. I don't care how small it is, $50, $100, something. They should pay you. It shouldn't be just by product alone. It's not a fair thing. It's very manipulative if you ask me. It just makes sense to me. How do you come to me and you're asking me to pay for shipping for something that I did not even want? I don't know. I don't get as like these type of messages as much. I just don't. I guess that maybe it's because of where I am in my career right now. But smaller creators, I think that some of these brands tend to target them and say these type of things to them. You should be paid for your time. You should be paid for your work. That time that it takes you to film, unbox, edit, it is labor. You should be paid for it. If that video gets at least 1,000 views, they can make up to about 1, 2, 3 sales from it. You don't know. You shouldn't be doing things for people for free. That's just my take. Me, like, it's not even something that I consider at this point. The next one is from Akasi Yolene. And she's asking, will you do a video on feminism? Would like to hear your thoughts, especially for the Bible part. I don't really know what Bible part you're referring to, so I would like to know feminism as regards to what? Feminism as regards to like being an African woman, Nigerian woman. Our experiences are so different depending on where you find yourself in life, depending on your location with this particular thing. If you want a proper definition to feminism, there are so many online articles, videos and stuff that explain that. But as regards to what? Because if I do a video and just start talking about feminism, we could talk about it for 3 hours, but just to be concise and to make a video that actually just tackles a particular thing, then it has to relate to something else, like something in particular. I have a very interesting question here. Guys, when I do Q&As, like please know that there is a word limit for the boxes. So if you feel like you have a longer question, please just reply the story itself. So this person is here saying, if your friend's BF hits on you persistently and you know she'll believe him even if you have proof. That's a very messy situation. And I know that women can be like that sometimes when like you're trying to tell them what someone is doing wrong, or that somebody like, it's so wicked because they put you in such a weird situation. I feel like I will tell you, I'll sit you down, we'll go somewhere, we'll talk, and I will show you the proof. But I know what she's getting at, because there are situations where women will even show proof and you'll be like, oh, you led him on, or you must have kind of convinced him to do this somewhere else and then you've deleted your own part. Like it can be so messy. Me, Isha, to tell you the truth, I will create distance both between you who will not be. No, what I'll do is I'll tell you, if you pick his side, I will jack back from the two of you before people use me to do what I don't know, because that does not make sense. It's so evil, this thing that they do sometimes when they are just trying to play two people. Like I'm like, so you're trying to play friends, trying to play sisters. Are you okay? What matters more to you, food or money? Money, my dear, because if you have money you can buy food. I don't know, like it's not clicking. Like these two, can you even compare the two? I don't know. This question is from Inoresegun. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but guys, like money. I'm an Igbo girl though. Let me tell you guys. A lot of you here are also asking how I am and how I am healing and how I am recovering. I feel so much better. Around the time that I even shot my first set of videos, like I was still having physical discomfort around the incision area, like especially if I sit up for too long, but all of that has just gradually started disappearing, or disappeared actually. So I'm very grateful to God. I'm healing really well. Thank God. So I have 2 questions here about my pots. I can't find the other one. I kind of saw that one as a notification. They were asking me where my pots are from. I did share the information of the personal shopper who helped me get those pots. She's in the UK. You can reach out to her, but my pots are from Argos. They're from Argos in the UK. And someone is asking here if they get fire stains. No. And even if there's a little bit of like something, like it washes off easily and nicely. So this one is, do you still take the milk you talked about in one of your vlogs, Oatly? The oat milk? Yes, I still do. This is from Rurala and is, how can you assess a relationship as being the bare minimum? And this is a very good question. Guys, I have seen people who literally what they want to do is the bare minimum. When I say the bare minimum, they want you to clap for them for doing the bare minimum. I feel like you get to a point in your life where if somebody is going to take up your time, like really they should not be coming at you with the bare minimum. Why? Like, why would someone do that? Like, you come and see somebody minding their business and you're doing things that they could easily do for themselves. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that emotionally, even when it comes to like acts of service, material things, bruh, the bare minimum is never enough, because I know that it just breeds a lot of resentment. So someone says it's .subomi. You said you did a little bit of consulting in your previous videos. What do you consult in? So I do consulting when it comes to brand campaigns. So if a brand is trying to do a campaign, and let's say that they want to really use YouTube for this campaign, for example, and they're trying to figure out what type of approach that they would want ideally for that campaign, what will work best, what type of videos, how long you want these people showcasing your product for, like very detailed things, even down to who to use and who to reach out to. It's something that you can reach out to me for consulting on, and based on the type of product or service that you're offering, I'll tell you what you should most likely do from experience. Hillsong music or Sister Njideka? This is actually a very good question. Very, very good question. I'm not a very big fan of Sister Njideka. I don't know her songs that much, but you see Chinyere Udoma. Chinyere Udoma is my G. Like, I know a lot of her songs word for word. Like, I'm vibing to her all the time, and I love her because I love the way Chinyere talks, like the way she sings, the way she speaks about God. And then Hillsong, I also love them. Like, I know the kind of mood I would be in to go for a Hillsong song, and it also depends on the song and what the song is speaking on, or how it speaks to my spirit during a particular situation. But I am more of a Chinyere Udoma person than Sister Njideka. So this is from Popsy the Great, and she's asking, any chance that you'll be going back to short hair soon, Dimma? This is actually a very good question because, see guys, I have my hair in a bun. That's how much my hair has grown, and I think that I just want to explore braids for now. I have so many braids that I want to try, so I think that's what I'll do for now. But will I be doing this long term? No, I think I'll have to cut my hair again at a point. So this one is from Tiwa_Ade. What would you do if you have all the money in the world? Guys, I'll just like relax and let my money take care of me. That's all. This is from Ophelia Jackson, and its biggest mistake in your career. It was not taking like YouTube content creation seriously soon enough. So this is from official_ireti.yt, and she's asking, how do you cope with haters? Haters gonna hate. Potatoes are going to potato. I don't really give a care. So this is from Bomid Flawed. And what would you do if a vendor refuses to refund your money when delivery couldn't be possible? They are joking. Delivery couldn't be possible. What does that mean? I thought that maybe they just refused to refund when they didn't make delivery. But the fact that they could not deliver that thing and they're still holding the money, why don't they want to give you your money back? So this is from Jennifer, and she's asking, have I ever experienced sleep paralysis? And yes, I have. I think I was 16 the first time that I had sleep paralysis, and it was one of the most scary things ever. Scariest thing ever. I remember that it was so bad that I called my mom. I was so scared. I was almost crying. I was in the house with my sister Uju because Uju had just been born that year. My mom went out to the market and left me with my last sister. She was just like months old. She had not even started walking. I just carried my sister from the bed and ran out. I was sitting outside waiting for my mother to come home. I was so scared. And I remember that I was saying, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus. I had just seen this old woman. It was so weird. And I couldn't talk. I couldn't wake up from sleep. It was so weird. Sleep paralysis is a very, very weird thing. I have not had it in a very long time. Thank you, Jesus. But I remember the first time I ever had it. Someone is asking me, have I ever been in love with two people? I'm currently in that situation and I have to let one go. You people should ask me if I finished being in love with one person. Guys, I don't know how some of you have the emotional range and bandwidth to be loving two people at the same time. I can like two people at once, but loving two people, two men, no. I've not experienced that. The last question that I'll take here is from Alexandra_Anibo. Guys, I have so many questions that I couldn't answer in this video, but guys, hopefully in the next one. And this one is asking, would you leave YouTube for a job that pays you double the money that you get from YouTube? I don't know a lot of people my age in Nigeria at the moment, maybe outside of here, who are making double what I could make from YouTube in a good month. I don't know a lot of people. I feel like there's so many things that play into this, qualifications, certain industries, whatever, but I don't know a lot of people, a lot of jobs, irrespective of industries, where people around my age are kind of making double that, unless they were now proper like business people who are running a proper business, and I don't know how much the business is bringing in. But in 9 to 5, I don't know a lot of people who like it's like that for. So yes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to me if you are not yet subscribed. Hopefully I'll do another Q&A soon. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Mwah.